Welcome back to Shelf Candy Nerds. Today, we're gonna paint this weird Martian lady monster thing. So let's get cracking.
Shelf Candy!
So this isn't a print, this is a casting. And as such, it has an extremely obvious seam line that Chris has to contend with. It appears to have come from a two-part mold, and as you can see, the seam wraps around the entire sculpt. Now, it seems to be made of plaster, which will make it easier to correct. But it's also packed with nooks and crannies, which will make it a colossal pain in the arse. Our loadout of weapons for this mission will include, first, sandpaper, second, needle files. These will help us get into tight areas. Third, putty for filling in areas and correcting offsets from the casting process. And fourth, and most importantly, bourbon. Chris has also procured this electric toothbrush sander thing specifically because of this marketing tagline. Chris has been waiting forever to subvert the time, and he's been putting off prepping this Martian for too long. So, let's just get it over with right now.
Sand it, prime it, sand it, prime it. Sand it, prime it, sand it, prime it, sand it, prime it, sand it, prime it, sand it, prime it. Someone kill me. Shelf Candy.
There, that wasn't so bad, right? Can't even see the seams, and anywhere they might be slightly apparent, well, we can hide those crimes with what Chris calls weathering. You and I would call it laziness. Conveniently, this project's benefactor does not want it to look like it does in the film, but rather in the art style of its creator, H.R.
My name is Giger, H.R. Giger.
Exactly. H.R. Geiger is a Swiss illustrator, probably best known for his children's books. They feature whimsical and imaginative designs such as this. Adorable. Only the profane power of dry brushing can achieve our desired result. Chris is starting with something called natural wood grain, which looks nothing like wood. It's essentially a yellow ochre, and it's too thin for this. But he is going to stubbornly use it anyway and just do multiple coats. Incrementally layering a single color using a dry brush is a technique forbidden by the Toledo Painters Guild. As such, it's to be expected that Chris will use the technique so frequently that it will start to seem sarcastic. And given the Guild's suppression of this renegade technique, Chris has taken to calling it the Glenithal Highlight. Fuck you, Glenn. Just one more step before we get to the fun stuff. Chris is going to pop all the edges and high spots out with a brighter highlight color. He wants this base to feel almost like bone, so naturally he is using buff. Buff? What the hell is buff? Who's naming these paint colors? Let me have a go. Are you looking for black? It's right here. It's called sandwich. Oh, you need a poopy green? Why didn't you say so? Hot dog fried rice is right here. Next time you're looking for dark turquoise, don't be stupid. Just reach for Ron Jeremy's mustache. Chris has taken the liberty of applying a gloss clear coat to protect his Glenithal highlight, and will now apply a very diluted transparent purple. Additionally, he will be adding some splattering for added texture. Just turn your compressor down super low, like 5 psi, and do quick bursts on the airbrush. This is one of the reasons why the clear coat is important. It will make any oopsies easy to remove. After this step, Chris will again apply a gloss clear coat and let it dry. Now with transparent blue, we will repeat the previous step. this time both covering some of the purple and introducing it into new areas. This is a preparation step for the next forbidden technique. The next technique is so heretical and so potent that merely mentioning it is grounds for banishment from the Toledo Painters Guild. Now bear witness to the true power of rubbing alcohol. Use the diluted stuff like this. You simply dab some on a brush and then apply it where you want the paint to go away. The way alcohol reacts with paint is it just pushes it away and it intensifies it where it settles. Keep in mind, using this technique requires the clear protective coat to be completely dry before you apply and remove whatever paint you are using. Failure to do this will result in an oopsie that Chris is not legally responsible for. This is a very effective way to produce small veins and capillaries. It's especially powerful when it's layered multiple times with clear coats in between to lock in the previous work. It creates a convincing illusion of subdermal irregularities. Another benefit of alcohol is it evaporates very quickly, and you can reactivate areas that have previously dried at will. But it's still a liquid, and gravity will do what gravity does, so be aware of that. While Chris finishes this, why don't you finish pressing that like and subscribe button, and for the full immersive experience, try leaving a comment.
Do.
After this, Chris is gonna, you guessed it, apply another gloss clear coat. Okay, this time with a light rust wash to add a little more warm tones and, well, rust. Same process as before, just make sure that clear coat is dry before starting. And while Chris does that, I have a special announcement to make. We have achieved our goal of 100 subscribers, and therefore the Devilman statue from Chris's first video has a new owner. And the winner is Cadillacula. Congratulations. Chris will be personally reaching out to you for shipping details. And thank you to everyone who participated. It's the first milestone in our endless struggle against the dark forces of the Toledo Painters Guild. For those of you who didn't win this time, worry not, for Chris will be giving away Orange Hulk when we hit our next milestone of 500 subscribers. Stay tuned for details. Now, if you were paying attention, you likely noticed Chris has pulled out a number of rust and grime paints for hand weathering and is now surgically applying those for a final layer of texture and detail. He is also using alcohol again to blend things out if he overdoes it, which he is known to do quite frequently. While Chris continues to paint this, how about I share a fun fact with you? Did you know? Back in the day, H.R. Geiger and J.K. Rowling invented what's known as the graphic interchange format, GIF, and in doing so, created an age-old debate over its pronunciation. Some call it GIF, others, mostly dummies, call it GIF. But it might surprise you to learn that the proper way to pronounce it is GIF. Now Chris will apply a final matte top coat, and for this, he really likes this Mr. Super Clear, and not just because of the awesome name. If you do your final pass as more of a dusting, it will be virtually sheenless. Now the final step on this biomechanical stuff, we need some metal highlights here and there. With a small dry brush, Chris will use chrome to quickly hit these cable things. And now is the time we salute our patriotic army of mighty, handsome genius warriors. Guild, behold our power. We are Legion. And with our strength now fortified with Joliet Jake, Adrian R., Chris Harris, Exree, and Raymond Navarro. You cannot hope to stand against us. Now prepare yourselves for oblivion. All that's left is the carapace, cockpit-looking sensory cluster head thing. Chris has once again used silly putty to mask all his previous work and will now base coat it with black before using some grays to imply some internal skeletal stuff. The idea is to use the same techniques as before to create the appearance of translucency so that the top of the head isn't just a big monolithic color. Now, on the highest points that we want to appear closest to the surface, Chris will use white-gray before locking this all in with, yep, a gloss clear coat. Perfect. Now let that dry, then grab some transparent purple and dilute the shit out of it. Then apply it to the surface, going heavier along the sides. Then, you've guessed it, back to the alcohol. Chris is going to focus on removing it mostly from the top, while trying to leave a lot of that hue on the sides intact, before applying yet another clear coat. Now that that's dry, time for one last pass with this light rust wash. Then back, once again, to Grandpa's cough medicine. This time, Chris is applying the alcohol across the entire surface, starting with randomly placing dots to create the veining before refining it. Chris will now feather black along the sides to make all the previous steps appear to be beneath this cloudy shell thing. Now, the final step, as you may have guessed, a fairly heavy gloss top coat. All right, guys, I think it's done. Behold.
Eager,
The trusty Martian is done. Chef Candy.
my name is
HR Geiger.
HR Geeker.
Yeah, his head looks like a cockpit. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Chef Candy. The trusty Martian is done.
All right, I'm gonna go now. Subscribe. Fuckers!
My name is Geeker, HR Geeker.